Coming up on this edition of Hawkeye News.
Farewell to the class of 2005. May 28th was the conclusion of many great high school careers as the class of 2005 proudly marched across the stage at the Dallas Convention Center to accept their diplomas. Find out what made this commencement ceremony outstanding in this month's return of District in 60 Seconds.
Plus, the annual Relay for Life Cancer Walk returns to Red Oak. After a few years in nearby Midlothian, the walk returned to Billy Goodloe Stadium in June, and the event once again was marked as a great success. Details straight ahead.
Also, we welcome back one of our most popular informative segments here on Hawkeye News, the Counselor's Corner. This month, we check in with our wonderful counselors to see what we students need to know to get off to a successful start. Important information coming up.
And later, we'll check in with our new WC reporter, India Fernandez, who will be bringing us news and information from the West Campus this year. This month, India introduces us to a couple of new faces working to keep the West Campus safer and drug-free for all students.
And finally, Hawkeye News crime reporter J.D. Foster returns with a report on a serious matter, school safety. J.D. went on location at the recently held active shooter training class hosted by Red Oak High School. Information on how the Red Oak ISD PD is training to protect our schools from danger is in this exclusive report.
All coming up next on this edition of Hawkeye News.
You're watching Hawkeye News with Christian Henson, Natalie Hillary, Sports with Brady Sapp, news coverage from the Junior High Bureau with Lexi Below, and what's new at the WC with India Fernandez. Plus, academic and student life reports with our Hawkeye News team. Hawkeye News, leadership you can depend on. Hawkeye News starts now.
Welcome to the first edition of Hawkeye News for the class of 2006. I'm Christian Henson.
And I'm Natalie Hillary. It's back to school time once again and a new season for us here at Hawkeye News.
Natalie and I will be your hosts this year on Hawkeye News, brought to you monthly by Hadit and Project Success. We would like to thank Red Oak ISD for giving us the opportunity to bring you news from around the district. At the end of our program, we'll tell you how you can contact us and give us your comments and suggestions, as well as any ideas for news stories.
Before we get started with this month's headlines, we want to welcome to our show our 2005-2006 reporters. First, we go to senior Kara Miles, who is standing by with a special look at new faces around Red Oak High School and the district. Welcome, Kara.
Thanks, Christian and Natalie. It's great to join the Hawkeye News team. Coming up, we'll meet a lot of new faces around our campus this year and introduce you to some new teachers across the district, and much more coming up later in the show. Christian and Natalie, back to you.
Thanks, Kara. We look forward to that in just a few moments. But first, we want to introduce more new faces to the team and welcome sophomore Catherine Martinez to the show.
What's the word from the stadium, Catherine?
Well, ladies, just a short time ago, our very own Goodloe Stadium was the host location for the 2005 Relay for Life Cancer Walk. I'll bring you more on the walk later in the show. Christian and Natalie, back to you.
Thanks, Catherine, and welcome to the Hawkeye News team. We also want to welcome more new faces to the show as we go to the band hall to see what's in store for that Mighty Hawk band.
Let's go to Mighty Hawk band member and now Hawkeye News reporter Leslie Rangel. Leslie?
It looks to be another exciting year for that Mighty Hawk band as new student leaders take over to lead the band on the field, and new faces are also joining Mr. Peace in the area of band instruction this year. I will have more on the band later. Christian and Natalie, it's great to be here. Back to you.
And while Katie Sanglin, junior high reporter Lexi Belote, and photojournalist reporter Curtis Kelsey are back, some of them find themselves on new turf.
But not crime reporter J.D. Foster, who is also back with this important story.
How safe are our schools? This question is not one that is taken lightly by the Red Oak ISD Police Department. I'm J.D. Foster, Coming up, I'll have a full report on how law enforcement officials here in Red Oak are teaming up with the Ellis County Sheriff's Department to participate in an important program that could one day save our lives.
Thanks, JD. We look forward to hearing more about that later.
Also new this year to Hawkeye News, reporter Katie Stanglin no longer patrols the halls of the West Campus, but will bring us news from the main campus. And this month she'll bring our students a look back at this summer's Hawkeye News Banquet, while Curtis will team up this year with fellow junior Brandon Scott as the new dynamic duo of sports.
The final new face on the team is that of freshman India Fernandez, who takes over the segment, What's New at the WC. So let's go to India to see what she has for us this month.
Thanks, ladies. I am also really excited to be a part of the Hawkeye News team, and I will be looking for great stories to bring you from the West Campus this year, like the one this month on two new faces on the West Campus, those of Officer Brian Dumstorff and his K-9 partner Sandy. I have full report coming up later in the show.
It certainly looks like we're off and running on another power-packed show, and with all the new crew along with us veterans returning, we hope to bring you as much great news, sports, and information as possible this year.
Brady will join us later as he returns for his final year as sports anchor as well. With all this news, it looks like we better get things kicked off by heading first to the administration building to get the welcome back word from our superintendent of schools, Mr. Craig Stockstill.
I want to say welcome back to everyone. We appreciate the good start to school. We're excited about all the changes that we see in the district and things going on. As we work towards excellence, we remember that it's a way of life and not an event, and that we encourage you to strive to be better every day. Welcome back.
Thanks to Mr. Stockstill for taking the time to address the students and staff for our show, but also for his and our other school administrators' support of Hawkeye News, and for allowing us to bring you the good news around Red Oak ISD for another year.
Thank you, sir, and from all of us, best wishes to the administration and school board, as well as another great year. Now let's check in with Kara to see what new faces will be at Red Oak High School and around the district this year. Kara?
Thanks again, Christian and Natalie. I'm very excited to be part of the news team this year. And just like all the new faces on Hawkeye News, we have lots of new faces around students will see as we walk the halls of Red Oak High School. Let's take a look at the new faces and new places around Red Oak High School. The first new face to Red Oak ISD administration is our new Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, Dr. Rick Bankston. Dr. Bankston comes to Red Oak from Frisco ISD and has been in education for several years in many capacities. Dr. Bankston takes over for longtime Assistant Superintendent Joe Miguel, who retired in June. Dr. Bankston has been very involved since coming aboard in late May. Welcome, Dr. Bankston. Now here's a list of other new teachers and staff members from around the district. We would like to welcome all our new teachers and staff members, and we look forward to getting to know you this year. Also, to all those who are returning for another great year at Red Oak ISD, on behalf of the students, we would like to thank you for your dedication to helping us reach our academic dreams and goals. Reporting for Hawkeye News, I'm Kara Miles. Back to you, Christian and Natalie.